When we talk about late 1990s psychological thrillers that quietly build tension rather than relying on spectacle, After Alice stands out as a film that leans into mood, character psychology, and the unsettling feeling that something is not quite right beneath the surface. It is the kind of film that does not rush to impress but instead takes its time, drawing the viewer into a slow, deliberate unraveling of truth and perception. Directed by Paul Marcus, the movie reflects a distinct storytelling approach that prioritizes atmosphere and emotional undercurrents over flashy cinematic tricks, and that choice defines the experience from beginning to end. Paul Marcus, known for his work across television and independent cinema, brings a restrained yet effective directorial hand to this film. His style in this particular project feels intimate, almost observational, allowing scenes to breathe and characters to develop in subtle ways. Rather than forcing dramatic intensity, he allows tension to grow naturally, which makes the psychological elements feel more authentic. The pacing may feel slow to some viewers, especially those expecting a conventional thriller, but for those willing to engage with its rhythm, it becomes clear that this pacing is intentional and necessary for the story it wants to tell. At the center of the film is a compelling performance by Keegan-Connor Tracy, who plays the lead role with a nuanced emotional range that anchors the narrative. Her portrayal is layered, capturing vulnerability, confusion, and quiet strength all at once. She does not rely on exaggerated expressions or dramatic outbursts. Instead, her performance is internal, often communicated through subtle facial expressions and measured dialogue delivery. This makes her character feel real and relatable, even as the story ventures into unsettling territory. The supporting cast, including Jesse Moss and Mark Backer, contribute effectively to the film's atmosphere. Their performances complement the lead without overshadowing her, and they help build the world around her character in a believable way. Each character feels like they have a purpose, even if their roles are understated. This ensemble approach adds depth to the narrative, making the interactions feel grounded and meaningful. The story of After Alice revolves around themes of memory, identity, and emotional trauma, but what makes it particularly engaging is how it chooses to reveal its narrative. Without giving away spoilers, the film follows a young woman navigating a series of events that seem ordinary at first but gradually become more complex and unsettling. The narrative unfolds in a way that encourages the viewer to question what is real and what might be influenced by perception or past experiences. The nonlinear hints embedded throughout the story add an intriguing layer of mystery. Rather than presenting everything clearly, the film allows small details to accumulate, inviting the audience to piece together the bigger picture. This approach demands attention and patience, but it also rewards viewers with a deeper level of engagement. It is not a film that spells everything out, and that ambiguity becomes one of its defining strengths. Visually, After Alice maintains a grounded and somewhat muted aesthetic. The cinematography does not aim for grand visuals but instead focuses on creating a consistent mood. The use of lighting and framing contributes to the sense of unease that runs throughout the film. Interiors feel slightly confined, while outdoor scenes carry a quiet tension that mirrors the protagonist's internal state. This visual consistency helps reinforce the psychological themes without drawing unnecessary attention to itself. The soundtrack is another element that deserves mention. It is subtle and never overwhelming, used sparingly to enhance emotional beats rather than dictate them. This restrained use of music aligns perfectly with the film's overall tone. Silence, in many moments, becomes just as powerful as sound, allowing the viewer to sit with the tension and absorb the unfolding drama. One of the most interesting aspects of the film is how it handles its central mystery. Instead of building toward a single dramatic reveal, it layers its narrative in a way that keeps the viewer constantly reassessing what they have seen. This makes the viewing experience more interactive, as you find yourself trying to interpret clues and understand the motivations behind each character's actions. It is a film that invites analysis rather than passive consumption. The writing plays a crucial role in achieving this effect. Dialogue feels natural and unforced, often carrying more meaning beneath the surface than what is explicitly stated. Characters do not always say exactly what they mean, which adds to the sense of ambiguity. This kind of writing requires careful attention from the audience, but it also makes the film feel more realistic and emotionally resonant. Another strength of After Alice lies in its exploration of emotional vulnerability. The film does not shy away from portraying its characters as flawed and uncertain. This honesty makes the story more relatable, even when the circumstances become unusual or unsettling. It reflects a deeper understanding of human psychology, showing how past experiences can shape present behavior in complex ways. The pacing, as mentioned earlier, is deliberate and slow burn. This may not appeal to everyone, especially those looking for quick thrills or constant action. However, the slow pace allows the film to build a strong emotional foundation. By the time the more intense moments arrive, they feel earned rather than forced. This kind of storytelling requires confidence from the director, and Paul Marcus demonstrates that confidence throughout the film. In terms of production, the film maintains a modest scale, which works in its favor. It does not attempt to be bigger than it is, and instead focuses on telling a focused, character-driven story. This approach gives it a certain authenticity that larger productions sometimes lack. The settings feel real, the interactions feel genuine, and the overall experience feels grounded despite the psychological complexity. Keegan-Connor Tracy's performance remains the highlight of the film. She carries the narrative with a quiet intensity that keeps the viewer invested. Her ability to convey complex emotions without overacting is particularly impressive. It is a performance that grows on you as the film progresses, revealing new layers with each scene. The supporting performances also contribute significantly to the film's success. Jesse Moss brings a subtle charm and ambiguity to his role, while Mark Backer adds depth to the narrative with a performance that feels both grounded and slightly enigmatic. Together, they create a dynamic that keeps the story engaging and unpredictable. As the film moves toward its conclusion, it maintains its commitment to ambiguity and emotional depth. Without revealing specifics, it is fair to say that the ending does not rely on shock value. Instead, it aims to provide a sense of closure while still leaving room for interpretation. This approach aligns with the film's overall tone and ensures that it stays true to its themes. After Alice may not be a widely known film, but it offers a unique viewing experience for those interested in psychological dramas. It does not follow conventional storytelling patterns, and that is precisely what makes it stand out. It challenges the viewer to think, to interpret, and to engage with the story on a deeper level. For audiences who appreciate character-driven narratives and subtle storytelling, this film can be a rewarding experience. It is not about instant gratification but about gradual immersion. The more you pay attention, the more you get out of it. This makes it a film that can be revisited, with new details and interpretations emerging on subsequent viewings. In conclusion, After Alice is a thoughtfully crafted film that prioritizes atmosphere, character, and psychological depth over spectacle. Under the direction of Paul Marcus, and with a strong central performance by Keegan-Connor Tracy, it delivers a narrative that is both engaging and thought-provoking. While its slow pace and subtle storytelling may not appeal to everyone, those who appreciate a more introspective approach to filmmaking will likely find it worth their time. This movie is available on YouTube free.